Hey, everybody, standing here. No, I'm not. I'm sitting here in the bus, right here with Danny Shirley from Confederate Railroad. Danny, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Having a great time.
You just played a great show.
We had fun, and you know, country music doesn't always go great here at Sturgis like it does Daytona. Right. But everybody was really, really into it tonight. I had a great time.
I'd say that you had some very well-trained listeners out there.
There you go. There was a lot of them singing along, man. It's always good to see, you know, that they know the songs now. And I don't know if you caught it on stage, but I noticed a kid wearing an AC/DC t-shirt singing "Daddy Cut the Big One."
Yeah, right.
So you don't see that every day.
Which I have heard probably the better part of, okay, not the better part of my life, but a good bit of my life, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm old. Go ahead and say it. I'm old. I've been around a long time. Older than Methuselah.
But no, it ain't like that. I just happened to grow up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, around where you did.
Around my hometown.
Yeah, so I know exactly what it's like at US 101, all those guys that play in your stuff.
You know, a lot of acts that I've talked to over the years, seems like the last place to really jump on board when they hit it big is their hometown.
It is.
And with me, I never had that problem. Man, Chattanooga area always supported me so good. You know, the radio, the concerts, everything.
Yeah, that's really amazing, because you're very right about that. And I was thinking about that just earlier, as a matter of fact, thinking, you know, Danny really never had that problem of you guys having to catch on everywhere else before you get back to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of seemed to work out for you.
Yeah, Chattanooga was always great for us, yeah.
I've noticed one thing about your writing is it comes from your heart, it comes from what you're thinking, and not necessarily always what somebody else is writing for you.
Well, you know, there's two ways to do it. Well, there's several ways to do it, I guess, but you can, when you write a song or record a song, you can do it because, well, I think this will be a hit.
Right.
But then the way that I like to do it is, this is something I like. This is something I'm not ashamed to get on stage and say about myself. You know, that's a big part of country music is, and we've lost a lot of that in country music over the years, I think.
Absolutely.
But back in when I was becoming a big country music fan, you could learn a lot about the artist by just listening to his songs, because he was bearing his soul to you. Sure. And that's the way I prefer to do it. You know, if it's something I think is funny, you know, I'm gonna do it. If it's something I think is touches me, I'm gonna do it. And not just because, well, I think radio will play this or whatever. Sure.
Not necessarily what corporate is suggesting, but what's coming from you.
Sure, yeah. I think you should share yourself like that, yeah.
I'm way with you on that. Music in general, not just country music, but music in general is lacking a lot of that now. And that's a sad deal. But tell us a little bit about, you've been doing this for how long?
Oh gosh, I played in my first club back in 1976. I started playing there around Chattanooga, just me and a guitar. And actually July the 26th of 1976, and I've seen pictures of me. I was wearing a white three-piece leisure suit. So I was cool. That's how long ago it was.
Okay, we'll cut that part out with it.
No, go ahead and tell them. Go ahead and tell them. We've all done things we're ashamed of.
There you go. So I noticed you've updated the white trash. What, the white trash?
White trash with money.
Yeah.
The reason I wrote that song. In '94, after we had hit big a couple years earlier, I moved back to Chattanooga and bought this really nice house. Right. And it's a true story. After I'd been there for a while, I think in '94 I did 273 shows. And so I was hardly ever at home. That didn't count travel days and days in Nashville and all. But so we were like the quietest people in the whole neighborhood, you know. Everybody was up in arms when we moved there, thinking, well, there'll be Harleys at the front yard and Hooters girls at the pool and everything. But we were gone so much that nobody ever saw us. I actually hired a cousin of mine to live at my house. Oh, wow. And that fall, when things started slowing down, I was out in the yard, in the front yard, and one of the neighbors came by one day, and he said, he introduced himself, and he said, you know, so when we heard you were moving here, we had a meeting about it. They actually talked about getting the money together to buy my house so I wouldn't move there. Oh, wow. And he said, y'all are like the calmest people in the whole neighborhood, you know. So we laughed about it, and I told him, I said, now someday you're going to hear a song about this, because that's how songwriters write things, you know. And so we all got a big kick out of it, but it was a great place. I love living in Chattanooga. Yeah, but I did update it. Yeah, you're talking about the update. Yeah. I went through a divorce after that. It cost me about $1 million. So, so I had to update. I'm not as with money as I used to be. Okay.
Yeah, right. That's okay. It doesn't matter. You know, what we appreciate here is people who are real true musicians. I think, as far as that goes, I know we can all speak for that, because a lot of us have been in the music business in some way for X amount of years, however long it's
Yeah.
been, and know what that's like. There's ups and then there's downs, and
Oh,
then
sure.
there's way downs.
You
and
know,
then
we've
go
been
back.
so blessed, though. You know, I hadn't had a top 10 record, I think, since '95, 15 years ago, and I still do 100 shows a year.
Wow.
So we were very fortunate in that we built that fan base, and like we're talking about the AC/DC
Sure,
guy there now, you
sure.
know. Who would expect a guy dressed like that to come to a Confederate Railroad show? And we've had that for years. I've had people come up and say, "You're like the only country album I own."
Oh wow.
You know, and I love that. Yeah.
Well, now, if somebody isn't familiar with your music,
Okay.
wants to know how to go do that, how would they go about finding you?
Well, I guess go to the ConfederateRailroad.com website.
That'd be the easiest.
That'd probably be the easiest thing. Yeah.
Buy CDs there?
You can buy CDs, T-shirts, everything. Of course, we get a lot of downloads.
Sure.
I remember one week that I heard that "Daddy Cut the Big One" was the most downloaded song of the week. So,
Well, hey, there you go. It doesn't matter as long as it's selling.
There you go.
It's all right there, folks. Right here, we're at Sturgis 2010. That's when it is. 2010. Yeah, it sounds good. Facebook.
no, ma'am, I don't.
You need a Facebook.
No, that's
Everybody
one way,
has
that's
a Facebook.
one more way for people to get in touch with me, and there's not that many people I'm looking forward to hearing from. No, I'm actually computer illiterate. My wife taught me to say ConfederateRailroad.com. Yeah, I have never seen my website. I don't have a Facebook.
It doesn't matter. You're out to go play music. That's all.
That's all I do. Yeah.
There you go. All right, folks. Here you go. Sturgis 2010 Confederate Railroad. Danny Shirley.